I just don't see it here. I think this is a really risky composition for IG to win. You're playing in basically all range. You're trying to use Ziggs and Varus to poke away your opponents, and then essentially set up for Wei to get pentakills, right? Like, it's basically with IG working with a lot more than JDG know, and I wonder how IG are going to be able to leverage this, especially with if they can even get priority in bottom lane, because it seems like Photic is having a bit of a harder time struggling in the 2v2.
Might prove a little difficult.
Xiaoshu?
Kill already. Xiaoshu on Zahen strikes first blood in this grand final.
Oh.
So Wei, even though he is spotted, oh man, that ward, I have no idea if Xiaoshu kind of sold out the position, but if Wei spends too much time for this and they don't get anything off of it, I mean, a flash forward for the decimating smash to knock him up. Wei, does he have enough damage? Yes, he does. The final proc of the Q2. It's enough to clean house, but at least forces Xiaoshu to back off for now.
Oh God. Rafa, with this wave pushing, you know that Vampire doesn't have teleport. Okay, trade from Wei. Shouldn't be all that much. They're gonna also use the ignite, so Gala's gonna get stuck. This could be problematic.
There's no three-pointer available for Renard anymore, but if he can get in range, he's going to propel himself with the satchel charge, and Vampire's already accepted his fate and will give one over to Renard.
This bottom lane cannot contest inside of JDG. You can see that trade that we were talking about before the pause. Junjia and JDG are going to have access to those grubs, which I think is nice. Getting more gold, especially for this Azir, and taking that away from a Ziggs comp, always a good look.
And it empowers Hongqiu and Xiaoshu on the side lanes even further. If they are left alone to their own devices, power those 3 grubs with that extra Void Might.
Find ways of peeling away from this Zahen.
Yeah, you can already see the fact that Bramble Vest completed, still not enough. Oh, potential setup for Wei. Doesn't even need the public execution. I think Vampire, without a flash, is just dead to rights as Renard assisted with another 3-pointer from downtown. And that means the feat of warfare has been secured for IG.
Doesn't even have to actually move out of the lane. Like, that's amazing. You now get free time for Photic to hit this. Gala's going to try to pressure, goes Transcendent.
Oh,
he's just dead.
He doesn't have flash for the dredge line. Gala was doing everything he can to just push Photic off the tower, and at least he doesn't pick up the plate, but at the cost of his own life.
We talked about a lot for the experience. We'll see whether or not he can actually perform on this. And Best of Jungle, which I know I don't know what your opinion of this champion is, but especially in the jungle, I think it is kind of fake. Oh!
Well, I'll tell you what's not fake. This bot lane fight between the 2v2. Gala gets exhausted, knocked up with the death charge. Photic trying to dump all of his arrows, and both AD carries are down. But now Wei and Vampire in supportal combat. But Vampire's on the losing end of this trade. Does Wei have enough CC in the tank? Enough damage? Just one more dredge line, but Vampire makes it out alive just in time.
Now they're walking in blind into this. They're just going to give this entire dragon up. So that's second dragon going over to IG, and very little lost. And remember from draft we said that we wanted to see IG with an advantage going into the 15-minute mark. They have a minor one. They have 2 dragons. I think that's really strong and giving them some ways to play. We get the first tower as well, so feats of strength are going to go over to Invictus Gaming. I'm going to be very sad when we see feats of strength leave.
Definitely feels bad for Zahen, for Xiaoshu, I should say specifically, who got the first kill of the game and then is starting to watch the rest of his bot side map lose advantages one after another.
That's just the top lane experience, brother.
That is the top lane experience. You're all alone on your island, and you have no impact unless you're Shen. Because you have to fear that if your fight goes wrong, you not only lose the dragon, you also lose the Otacon on the back half of it. And JDG right now trying to sneak it. Jway is the first one in, tags Vampire. Renard is trying to sneak his way through on the right side flank, so he's not caught, but Xiaoshu is thinking the same thing. Vampire finds Renard. He throws the 3-pointer right on top of himself for some damage. It's the Cyclone from Junja, but he gets popped. Here comes Hongqiu. Flash for the Emperor's Defied, but he's in the middle of all 3 members. Xiaoshu, can he get some damage down? Gala staring at his old team. He flashes the dredge line. Xiaoshu absorbs it. Sapporo trying to step up for the team, but there's no more Photic. There's no more Renard. It's only on Wei and 2 tanks to put in the heavy lifting. Xiaoshu should be able to get some damage done, but Wei steps up, gets knocked up by the crowd control, but they're winning the fight. Gala in a 1v3. I don't think he can pull a miracle out of this one. Wei and Sapporo clean it up, and it's an ace for IG.
How did Junja go down so early in that fight? That's 3 dragons over to IG. It will not be the Otacon, and that's the big worry now, because with JDG and some of these members respawning, they can head right over to this objective, and this is going to be a never-ending fight.
Teased at the moment. Wei trying to start it up. IG hasn't really fully committed to it. Renard has teleport and is now expending it so he can join the fight.
Okay, the decent setup. I remember there's no flash here for Renard. At least it's going to come up in a few moments. No flash for Honkyu, no flash, and this is half already gone. Zen's going to have to TP in.
I'm curious where Renard throws down his E. Okay, he's going to block off the bottom side of the path here. Junja goes in for the Cyclone. Def Charge knocks him up. He still has one more cast of the Cyclone, but he's forced to run away for now. Gets chunked out by the Renard bomb. Xiaoshu and JDG have control of the Otacon at 3.6k. Can Wei get back in? Saboro's going to open up the line. They're going to try to burst it down. Who gets it? Wei secures the Otacon. And now IG can just play back and use range to their advantage. Wei snags the trench line. Honkyu forced to go into stasis, but Wei is just going crazy with the public execution. Emperor's Divide pushes them all back, but Xiaoshu with the Grim Deliverance is not going to be enough. He has the passive for the revive. Junja trying to turn it around, but he goes down anyway. Wei can lock up Xiaoshu for Wei to go crazy on it. And Xiaoshu, can he get in range? But he gets punted back by a satchel charge. Big knock up on the Dway. It's not enough. And now Renard looks for Honkyu, the flash forward. Honkyu is going to do everything he can, but it's just not enough at the end of the day. IG get another race at 23 minutes.
And the way that he thinks about the game, his time and his tenure across the world, definitely I think lends to him maybe feeling like, hey, I just want to trust you guys in-game.
Hang on. Big fight on the bottom side of the map. Junja throws out the Cyclone, gets 2 knockups, but Wei hasn't taken more than a scratch, and Saboro arrives, and now he can do some damage. Still has Unstoppable Onslaught available. Gets the 2-man knockup into another follow-up with the Decimating Smash. Grim Deliverance tries to buffer through it all. Xiaoshu trying to survive. Forced to flash over the wall. Photic can tag him with an arrow and takes him down, but go on the right side flank. Looks for Dway and Photic, but here comes Renard on the other side. Knocks him up with a satchel charge. Honkyu, can he survive? Not this time. Vampire, the last one to fall, and it's just an IG clean sweep in game 1.
5-0. We'll take the mid-tier 1, and let's just go grab Baron, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to maybe end this game. I mean, 35 seconds, I think it's tough. You could have gone for Soul, you could have gone for Baron. IG spanked JDG in this game number 1 with just clean fundamentals around objectives and really strong play, especially from the bottom lane.
Yeah, with Zig's passive as well, I think they could just end it right here. There's still 7 seconds on Vampire, the next one up. So with, as well as Junja, wow, this is so impressive.
Double bombs.
IG came to play for game 1 of the Demacia Cup Grand Finals.
I think a lot of folks at home would be surprised that JDG are supposed to be the favorites coming into this. They have their full lineup for the year. You don't have any of these subs. We've seen some really sketchy play from Invictus throughout the tournament.
The lock-in is Kiana instead. All right, once again, Dimitri, I'm going to preface this with Kiana is a champion that requires you to be precise with your mechanics. But Wade just popped off on Mbesta, another mechanically demanding champion.
Also, at least for the year, with Saboro, Photic, and Wei. Jue obviously stand in for Mako, who's undetermined if he'll come back. Junja.
Counter-Strike sets up the stun, and Saboro has already accepted that he is not getting out of this one, so he's going to try to maybe execute or get as many minions as possible. Xiaoshu flashes just to gap close. No way Saboro gets out alive. He finally flashes away, but now Honkyu gets a piece of that pie, and it's first blood for JDG's mid laner. Dway gets knocked in by Vampire, but Wei is looking for a gank. Gala slays Dway before Wei makes his arrival, but now Gala has got nowhere else to go. Doesn't bother burning any of his summoner spells, but Vampire with a nice pulverize interrupts Wei, and it's only 1 kill over to IG.
He will get the first dragon of the game unless Junja decides to just flash over this wall. Okay, we're doing it.
In 1100 or 1700 HP. He stuns up 1 target. Gala is slain by Wei though, and has access to the Supreme Display of Talent at level 6, but neither team is level 5, and there it is! He hits level 6! Double kill for Wei, and he's showing the path of victory for IG in game 2.
Talking about, wow, the creativity of JDG. You have Galio, or you have this Talia and Pantheon coming over the walls with the flash and the ultimate from Honkyu, and then the fight would have looked great, but now they're going to lose this wave. Gala loses almost all of his HP, and they're setting up for a dive. This wave is coming in now, and Pantheon's doing grubs.
And Vampire cannot get to his AD carry. Gala, he recognizes that he is donezo, and he even spam taunts at his old teammate in Wei, recognizing how doomed he was. This turret might just be gone here on the next minion wave, since IG don't have to deal with any reinforcements from the side of JDG.
Yeah, Alistar is just watching his turret go down. JDG, they got 3 grubs, and Pantheon had ultimate this
Holy.
entire time. That is a 9.5-minute first turret here for IG. We talked about the lane domination from some of these matchups, and they are delivering here with a 1,500 gold lead for Wei alone. Themselves into better positions, and maybe even, I guess the word I want to use is jumpstart this team's ability to, perform in certain times. I think it's an interesting take. It's going to be JDG starting up on this bottom side. They'll get a plate here for Vampire and Honkyu. That's an ult used by Vampire.
But he didn't time the charm. He used the ultimate before the charm connected. Takes more damage and he dies for it.
Vampire. I mean, that time, I want to give it up to Renard. That was really well played.
Just a 2-0, like a devastating 2-0 stomp. And now Gala is in a world of trouble. Does flash one of the abilities, but cannot get away from the supreme display of talent. It does come at the cost of both flash and cleanse. Manages to survive. Saboro now in a 1v4 dive. Man, they hate that guy. JDG get another kill back in what seems like ages. But the second dragon of the game does spawn at this point. First brick was already secured, and IG should be able to have the next objective of the map.
Are they going to try and punish bottom, like this mid lane play? No, they're going to give Jax that entire first turret on top side. There is no punish onto this Misfortune that's sitting mid. She's collecting plates this entire time. Ari was farming on the bottom side of the map. I think that IG come out massively in this trade. It's Saboro who loses.
But he was only able to pick up a pickaxe, so I don't think he's going to have enough gold to be able to base in time before that objective. So there is still an opportunity for JDG to win a better and much heavier coordinated fight than what we've seen all series long.
He's also going to have a really large spike here. Maybe getting a kill on a Xiaoshu. Yeah, this guy's just a freebie. This is them pushing on the wave. 3 minutes before the dragon. I think more importantly, Rafa, we've got 45 seconds until that Herald spawns on the top side, and Renard just pushed in a wave. This is a good way for IG to leverage themselves some more control as they rotate from the bottom side of the map and move to the top side. This is adventurous.
Grand Starfall Flash committing forward for the Croc. Honkyu does not land the seismic shove, but the Rock makes its mark. Now Wei is ready to punish. It's a great angle for a flash. The supreme display of talent. Good night, Junja. Wei is the superior jungler in this series so far. It's a bigger problem. Thankfully for JDG, supreme display of talent is a bit of a longer cooldown.
Yeah, just get a free kill here.
So it's a little bit more time. I mean, Wei, if he can get a kill, he'll accelerate that cooldown just a little bit more. He's fishing around, throws out the grass Q. 4,000 HP on the Rift Herald. Jway gets popped first. Vampire goes in with a two-man knockup. No one can really follow up. Xiaoshu's in the back line, trying to cause as much chaos as possible. Renard is flying with the Spirit Rush. Xiaoshu trades one on to Photic, but he goes down as well. Junja slays the Rift Herald, denies it from IG, but it's still an IG fight all the way through. An ace for them at 16 minutes. But every engage from Jway so far has been spot on.
All right, right now, Herald was already used. Didn't seem like it got too much of an effect here for JDG. They're trying to fish. Honkyu's dead.
Yeah, charm connected right into the Q stun from Jway. Yeah, that's a dead Talia on my screen. Renard in the middle of 3 people. I don't think he's getting out of that one. Gets punted back, but full of time into the magnet. Storm! Worthy trade for IG as they clean house on Vampire, and now they're looking for Xiaoshu. Wei doing it again on the Kiana.
But you got to think item levels. You also have to be thinking about potential. It doesn't even matter if Sapporo dies here, I'll be honest. Like, we've got Otacon in a minute. He lives anyway. All right. All right. Wei is absolutely tearing a hole through this
flank.
one.
They're going to look for Wei first.
Oh my,
Wei already thrown out, and Wei tries to flash away, but he's deep behind enemy lines. No way that he gets out. Big shutdown going over to Junja. Renard teleports and arrives to the party. Xiaoshu flashes away from the charm, but JDG have turned this fight for the first time this entire series. Wei is gone. His first death ever in grand finals, and now it's all onto the solo laners of IG to try and salvage this Otacon fight.
Oh my god, Photic is trying to flank onto Honkyu here. Here's the bullet time.
Ripping Honkyu to shreds. He blows him up. Junja is able to secure the Otacon, and now it's a retreat angle for the rest of JDG. Nobody else from IG can secure or lock down any stragglers from JDG, but man, that turnaround was crucial.
Now done here for JDG. Not going to be available for this dragon in 2 minutes. So JDG, this next minute window is going to be probably
staring down the barrel of a 0-2 for the rest of the series is not a fun place to be, and it's a tough one to recover from. JDG.
They're going to trade Saburo to be on this wave instead. I think interesting, recognizing that Ari is going to play a big part. Honky with a massive flank and with Weaver's Wall. It's JDG who can start this, and they had a lot of great ways of preventing IG from getting closer. But it's all about when you pull that trigger, how you find your targets. Renard looking.
Gala able to just sidestep it, using the ultimate and the spell shield just in case the charm did connect. 5,000 HP on the dragon. Honky looks for Renard, but he dashes at the right moment. Junja is going in with the Grand Starfall, but instantly stunned with the supreme display of talent. Vampires into the back line. Dre's the first one to fall. Honku presses forward. Xiaoshu with a flank onto the left side, into the back line. Counter-Strike stun already used up, but the pull time starts to push JDG back, and Wei is in the back line once again. Finds the double kill, and now Honku and Gall are on the run. They're in a pocket where IG have no vision, no eyes whatsoever. They're in the shadows, but I don't know if these shadows are a safe place to be. Bernard and Wei are trying to approach a charm. Fishes, I don't know if it landed or not, but Gala gets isolated, and Honku is destroyed! Wei shows up once again for IG, and it's time to do the Baron.
Guess what? He has Axiom Mark. He already has his ultimate back up. It is JDG who get the dragon. It's as good of a fight as it's going to get, but now Baron going over to IG. It feels like JDG all series long so far.
Any of these fights this series.
It's another turret going down. Xiaoshu's going to try to push on the top side. These are all for the objective bounties that are available on the map right now. I mean, he's a Trinity Force Jax. It's just going to be Ari. Ooh, he even has Demolish. Might be able to take those 3 grubs, but could also be feeling a little bit of pressure. When you have a Talia and a Pantheon, we didn't talk about it this game, but we've seen very little of this cross-map play coming in. I say that, now this might be coming in.
Oh, Renard is able to find the charm outside of the minion wave, and Wei does show up for the execution. Xiaoshu dead on the top side of the map. He knows that he's got one mission, and that is to cause as much chaos in the backline and buy as much time for Gala and Honku. But Gala is still 2.5 items as Vampire gets jumped on by Renard, forces out all 3 charges of the Spirit Rush, but now he is donezo. Saburo cuts him off, and the supreme display of talent cuts off Honku. That's the mid laner gone. It's traded with the death of Photic, and now Wei is coming in for the cleanup once again. Junja is able to sledge Wei, and Wei's gone. Wait a minute, the GA pays off big time with that value, and JDG are going to be able to put IG to a stop for now.
Invictus biting a little bit more than they can chew there, going for plays on 2 sides of the map right there. There's a play in mid, play in top side. They end up failing on both. They catch out Honku, but I don't think this is worth it. This is a big delay on your timer. If Photic had gotten a kill in that last fight, he would have a 4th item right now. He would have already finished his executioners, and that would have been
Xiaoshu. Honku trying to assist with the Weaver's Wall.
Whoa.
Kind of goes wide. It still clips Honku, and Saburo goes in for the flash. Honku, don't tell me he dies off of that. Oh, unlucky. Bullet time rips JDG apart, but Dway does fall. Renard charm flash, looks for Junja. Photic cannot follow up on it, though, because he doesn't know where Vampire is. The rest of IG backs up for position. They have control of the dragon. Junja, you have one opportunity. It's the Grand Starfall. It's too late. Photic secures it. Infernal Soul has been picked up. Wei flashes away from Xiaoshu, but a flash follow-up. Wei doesn't die. He survives through it all, and now IG are going to run down every last member of JDG that stands in the river. A double picked up, a triple picked up for Renard, and IG are ready to close this game out. They have been very methodical as we're back to live with another play, and Photic, unfortunately, is caught out by 3 members from JDG.
That's Baron.
But that is Baron, as you called out, since the rest of IG were committed to the top side. Xiaoshu may have spotted them, but cannot contest. So IG will trade their AD carry's life for a powerful objective buff.
I don't know if IG maybe did that. I wonder if Photic was maybe trading his life. Like, what? That happens.
JDG with another Fnatic Death Brush, looking for Wei. He is the target. He has a GA. I'm going to turn on to Dway instead, but the supreme display of talent clips 3. Gala caught up, no way out, and it's just Wei setting IG up for success once again. Renard at his side. Both of these players have been absolutely stellar from minute 1 of game 1, and IG run the show once again. An ace at 32 minutes, and they're going to push into the base for match point.
That is just game. 35-second death timers, 32.5 minutes here. IG look unstoppable here in this grand finals. They've made a few mistakes, and JDG have been able to punish some of them, but IG almost feel like they have an impenetrable test of full question bank, and no correct answers are available to JDG.
IG are now pushing JDG against the brink. Wei will throw out another ulti just to show how supreme he is on the Rift. IG now at match point in our Demacia Cup Grand Finals. This is a lot of confidence coming out from the mid laner for IG. Remember, this is someone that is sitting behind Rookie for IG.
Call and JDG have been almost second fiddle this entire series.
And for the first time in this series, Wei is not necessarily on a champion that requires that many resources. Jarvan, even if he is put behind,
so if you use your Infernum Q, I might have to hold this because I think we're fighting over this. This is not a level 6 Jway, by the way. He is level 5. He does not have access to his ultimate. That's a big win for him. Oh, it's Tabe now on the coach comp.
Tabe's talking. Oh my goodness, Tabe is on the mic, ladies and gentlemen. And just like that, maybe IG sensed the presence of Tabe himself through the comms and said, we have to bail. Q also popping the shockwave, and IG are going to claim a dragon practically for free.
That is incredible. There is a massive CS lead being hovered by Hongq, but okay. He didn't seem like he was talking very much, though. So
there's
maybe
no more help
just
coming in from Tabe. He didn't say anything? Wait a minute. We're getting info.
He just looked like he was just sitting there. Oh, there's Jway.
Okay. Oh my goodness, they just blew up Gala, and the Cataclysm locks down Vampire. Wei gets out alive. Junja has no World Ender, so he just has to rely on the raw strength of these Darkened Blades. Hits the sweet spot on the second one, goes for the third, but Photic flashes out of it with the Killer Instinct, dodging out on an imperative spell, but a Death Sentence clips Photic, and the barrier will not be enough. Wei is on the wrong side of the tracks. Junja finally shows up this series, big for JDG.
Second Cataclysm. Second Pop Blossom, lot of things that he has to try to avoid, and Hongq has been a player of pretty deep renown this year. I have seen the community's response. I am hopeful that we can kind of hopefully give this guy some leeway. Obviously very fresh to competitive in general in terms of tier 1 play, and had a breakout freshman year, but walks through this choke, he's going to be seen.
It's a really difficult approach for Renard to make. He's in the Raptor wall. Sapporo still top with Xiaoshu. Xiaoshu has teleport available this time, and Xiaoshu builds up
now,
the Meganar. 2K on the Dragon. They start up the fight. Junja gets knocked up by the Flag Drag. Renard makes his approach. Jway looks for the Pop Blossom and only hits on the one. It's secure drag for the side of IG, and now everyone's trying to bail out, but Wei goes back in with the Cataclysm, flashes out, locks them down, and maybe it's just enough for IG to retreat. Death Sentence connects on the Wei. The flay back. Junja gets his first kill of the fight, and the rest of IG are forced to scram.
Still the Dragon going over to IG. Really well played there from JDG. Do they go for the Otacon immediately? No. A great play. I can't wait to look at the replay. Vampire playing that very, very well. Have a lot of expectations for this roster, but it is 4 kills at 28 minutes, and we are now at Mountain Soul point for IG. Dance around this Otacon for so long. Dragon spawns in 2 minutes now, so this could turn into a 2 versus 1 kind of trade. Renard looking for Xiaoshu. No Meganar. Again, halfway down on this Otacon now.
They're trying to burn it down. JDG, 3,000 HP. Wei, can it be clutched with the smite? It's 2,000. Who's going to get it? He kills early and resets. Neither jungler smites, but Wei is getting choked out. He's blown up, and Junja pops the World Ender. You have to imagine this is a free Otacon secure for JDG, and they can continue to ramp up. Shockwave does not connect onto Sapporo, but JDG got what they came for, and IG are behind once again.
Wei, that crowd control from JDG
Renard?
Was massive. Does Renard find Vampire?
He gets tagged by the Death Sentence. Gala's there with the Gravitum gun. Doesn't get a chance to root him down, but Hongq's over the wall. Waits for him to use the Blast Cone. Does not find him with any command attack or protect. But Junja gets the movement speed from the command dissonance, and Renard has got nowhere else to go. No flash, no perfect execution. He's dead. Forced to use the Flag and Drag away from the Infernal Chains. They have full control of the River Pit. Bernard, oh no, Bernard on the wrong side of the tracks. Gets tagged by the ultimate, and he gets rooted. Flash Death Sentence. The layup is beautiful. Shockwave right on top. No more Akali for this fight. And IG are trying to burst down the Dragon as fast as possible before Junja comes back into play. Wei is looking. 6,000. Flash from Xiaoshu. Looks for the Meganar. Sets them all up. Wei has to get back into the pit. He has to get involved. He has to be able to save this fight and open up for Photic and Jway. Pop Blossom still available. Killer Instinct still at the ready. 3,000 HP. Wei flashes back in.
Oh!
Sapporo secures it! Mountain Soul secure for IG. Photo gets in the back line. They're looking for Gala. Gala is destroyed. Junja has to go crazy, but he gets forced to flash away. Xiaochu not going to survive. How did IG do it without their Akali? Jindong thought they woken up, but they're put back to sleep by Invictus Gaming.
And we are not locking down the carries. And Xiaoxu, I have got to say, we were excited to see you coming into this lineup, and you have the rest of 2026 to impress us. That was the problem, right? We were saying, how much is that Otacon going to be worth, though? Right? Like, you won the fight. It was a good example for you, but too much being utilized, too much chasing going on. If they would have killed Renard, it would have been great, but after they failed that play, that's the entire objective gone now. A lot of structure standing here for IG. Imagine that this 2,000 gold lead is going to expand very rapidly in the next 2 minutes.
Still a minute 30 left on this Baron buff. IG doing the best they can to set up a pick. Maybe a quick collapse. Renard is going to occupy JDG's attention for now as Hongq picks up the wave. Xiaoshu manages to get a tier 1 turret for his efforts on the bottom side of the map. And he has teleport, but he can easily get knocked up by Wei's Jarvan. So I don't think Xiaoshu's getting out of this one. He's going to look for at least a trade. Decent damage onto Photic. Wei should be able to burst him out. Photic is getting super low. It comes at the cost of a Killer Instinct and Cataclysm. Can JDG do something with this information? To qualify for internationals, to contend domestically, especially against the team that took away your chance to go to Worlds for the regional finals just a few months ago. Junja looking for Renard now. They have to cut through the mountain shield.
He's
Renard
out.
able to find an angle with the perfect execution to cast. Easy peasy. CY at in the chat. And Wei and the rest of IG are pushing on the map.
That's a flash away from Xiaoxu. They just gave up a big position around this dragon now. They're not going to have Cataclysm. They're not going to have perfect execution. We came from the draft thinking this was going to be a dive composition. It seems like more, we're just team fighting. This hook does not matter. 8,000 HP, this Elder is dead.
Wei, can you be a hero? Junja at 3,000 HP, Saburo flashes in!
That's it.
Wei! This is the way that IG have needed for Demacia Cup. Junja, the first one to fall, traded by Renard, but it doesn't matter because IG have the powder of the Elder Dragon, smiting every last foe that stands in their way. Xiaoshu would trade on to Wei, but it's only Vampire left in the grave. Quadra kill for Photic, and Invictus Gaming will push it to end Demacia Cup.
And as the second organization with the most amount of finals appearances here in Demacia Cup, IG will get another win, another trophy. This has not been accomplished by this org in 7 years.
JDG rebuild for 2026, every starter on the Rift, and it still isn't enough. Invictus Gaming, come back from the brink and sweep them in style. Your champions of Demacia Cup 2025.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.